And in our Artist Spotlight, a powerful and visually stunning opera is coming to Boise later this month. Opera Idaho is presenting Thaïs. It is a rarely performed opera set in ancient Alexandria, and it's known for its beautiful music, including the famous violin solo Meditation and a dramatic story about faith, desire, and transformation. Joining us now, we have stage director Julia Menser and Stacy Trentiso with Opera Idaho. For our viewers who may not be familiar with this really unique piece, right? What is the story about?
It's about a woman named Thaïs in ancient Alexandria who has been forced into a life as a courtesan, which in that era is a combination of actress, artist, dancer, also priestess. It's a sacred role. She's a priestess of the cult of Venus, and she's a sex worker. So she represents a cross-section of all of these different values in the society. And there's also a monk named Nathanael who is absolutely obsessed with her and has been since he's 12 years old. Oh. But because he's got such a twisted relationship with his own value system and sexuality, he can't face his own obsession. So says, the problem must be you, not me, and decides that the only way he can purge this obsession is to turn her into a nun, as you do.
Okay, yes, that's the answer to so many things. No, wow, this is a very dynamic storyline just in itself, right? An incredibly complicated lead character, and this real interesting dynamic between the two, like you're saying, this obsession since a very young age. So a lot of passion, I can imagine, is in this performance.
Yes. So I mean, and if you hear Julia talks about this opera. We do all of little events and things, and what comes out of the conversations, though, is that it really truly is about love, and isn't that what all art is essentially about? Yes. And our season this year is called Crazy Love, and so this opera makes a lot of sense.
Yes, a lot of sense
in this season. So because we had, if you remember, we did Sweeney Todd in the fall, which also is about love, but very crazy. Yes, he's very crazy, and so we have another set of characters who are exhibiting some very crazy love, and in the end, Thaïs, she goes through this transformation as a character and ultimately finds the love of God and true love. So in the end, we won't tell you how it ends, but if you know opera, tragedy exists in our world every day.
It's happy in a way, right?
But it is, for her. Because she actually she does go through that transformation and falls in love with God and gives herself over to God, while Nathanael, who is the monk, ends up kind of, wallowing in his own despair, seeing that he's totally missed the point in life, essentially. So in the end, it is this tragic but still very fulfilling and beautiful moment, which is encapsulated by this very famous piece called the Meditation, which many of people will recognize. It's played often at funerals. It's a very famous violin solo. And so go YouTube that. YouTube the Meditation by Massenet, and that'll give you a taste of how beautiful this music is.
And
it's
even
just
possibly people might identify it and go, oh, that's where that came from.
They will. You absolutely will. That's the thing about opera. You recognize more of it than you think. And
you're a lot more familiar than you think.
Exactly.
So come enjoy it in person and see where it's originated from.
Especially nowadays with AI and everything online, all the news that you see in your feed and social media. Come and experience a live inspirational performance, because the audience is in football you say it's the 12th man on the field. Well, they are for us, because you're in the space creating, and the actors and singers and musicians and the dancers. We are featuring Ballet Idaho dancers.
Oh, cool. So nice collab.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you mentioned, like with AI and all that, there's something in a live performance that nothing can create except humans.
Absolutely.
And that's why we need you to come out. So get those tickets. Information's right there at the bottom of the screen. We're talking about that importance of the live in-person performance and feeling that energy. We're going to give you a taste a little bit here on the show. Coming up right after this, we'll have a live studio performance from a piece from this incredible opera when we come right back.